What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm JLAG.
And I'm NB.
And this episode is recapping and reviewing Riverdale Season 3, Episode 19. And it's called Chapter 54, Fear the Reaper.
And don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending because we are going to go through our recap roundups, our best moments, our best lines, our MVPs, our LVPs. So be sure to stick around for that.
And as always, to our continuing listeners and our brand new ones, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us get into the episode, y'all. So what'd you think, girl?
I'm going to let you take this one first. And you can just take that answer because I think they were good moments.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all. That's it, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's all.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there were some good moments, some good emotional moments in it, but for the most part, I think that it's opening up so much, and it's the last half of the season. Not even. It's like almost done. It's 3 more episodes, and it's like getting really, really weird and crazy. And I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the ones that close off, and let's talk about the ones that are possibly continuing on to next season. So we first start off where we ended before, where Jellybean is now missing, and they go home and they get a letter that says they have to play the gargoyle game. And Glados comes in. She's like, "What's going on? Where's Jellybean?" And FP's like, "She's missing. We need to like play this game." Kurtz is in the back because he kidnapped her, and she's pissed off too. Then it cuts back to Archie and Veronica at the hospital. And I was like, what's going on? Why are they at the hospital?
I know. I totally forgot for like a hot second. I'm like, wait, what?
And then the guy, the doctor comes out and he's like, sorry, fucking 65-year-old Randy's dead now. And we knew that was going to happen. And he's dead.
He's like, I am so sorry he didn't make it. I was like, I didn't think he made it. Like, I didn't need this continuation.
He already halfway out the gate anyway to begin with. So first of all, like, big ups to fucking Randy for dying because of a 17-year-old boy, but like whatever. So he dies and the family's there and they're like really upset. And Elio's like, it was your fault. And Archie already says, he's like, you gave him something right before the game. And he was like frothing at the fucking mouth and no one said anything. And Elio's like, no, don't know what you're talking about. Whatever he does on his own time is his own business. And I'm like, I can't with this storyline. If they just stopped the fucking game when we told them to stop the game, this would have been not a story, this whole episode. It just, this particular storyline was so fucking annoying to watch because it just didn't have to be a story. It didn't have to be a story
at all. It just felt so contained to this episode. It felt so fucking ridiculous. Like, there was no like valid thing to it. Like, they're accusing him of what? Like, they don't have proof. Like,
exactly.
Like, it's so much of a waste of fucking time. And on top of that, it took away from Archie and Josie. And like, I'm gonna be furious about that.
Yeah,
it's just there's so many storylines that I think have so much potential, and I want to see the potential because I want to love this show so much. And I think his boxing storyline had potential as much as I was like, about it. I was like, okay, it can go in a really cool way. But then they take it to this level, and I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever like seen.
Yeah, it just got really dumb. So and for the final end point, which we'll talk about later, obviously, it was worth it, but it wasn't that worth it. Like, they could have done that final end point without this whole, is he gonna go to jail for killing this other guy, like, storyline. It was just didn't make any sense. But anyway, so then it cuts back to them kicking Kurt's ass, and he's like, you got to play the game. So everybody starts like playing it, and everyone has like a certain like card. And Glados is an alchemist, obviously, because she's a drug maker. And he's like, it's time to tell all of your secrets. And then it cuts back to Hiram, Veronica, and Betty. And Betty's talking about her dad. And she was like, well, I heard your jail's like pretty sick. Can you move my dad to your jail? And like, it'll be great, like, because he can see like windows and stuff, because like right now he's in solitary confinement. And his the dad Hiram is like, yeah, no worries, like, we can figure it out. And Veronica's like, yes. And Betty's like, yes. I'm like, does everybody forget the fact that it's a fucking Black Hood out here and they're trying to figure out if he can get into a better prison? Like, I didn't understand why Betty was so hell bent on like getting him into the fucking another jail. Like I didn't get it.
I think it could have made sense if they maybe had a stronger storyline with Betty and Hal. And I think we anticipated it, especially you were saying that like it might like morph into like a Hannibal Lecter kind of storyline.
Right.
But they didn't really get into it as much as I thought they would.
No,
and so
not at all.
Him asking Betty now in the end of the season, like, girl, get me back home. She's like, cool, Dad, I will. I'm like, I don't buy it. Like, she's not that stupid to let this happen.
Exactly.
If they had let it have more time and like they spent more time and like he was acting different towards her, I'd be like, oh shit, okay, like I'm buying into it too. But I didn't feel that at all, and I just felt like it was the dumbest move on her part. Like, she can be so smart in some cases
and then be so dumb,
and then this doesn't make sense.
She was like my MVP and then my LVP at the same time.
Yeah, like I get it, it's her dad. I understand, and like she's losing her mom. I get all of that. But like, guys, he was a serial killer. Like he killed people. This show is just like, all over the place.
It's all over the place.
All over the place.
So then it cuts to Mad Dog calling Archie, and Mad Dog's like, yo, you know those drugs that I gave you? And I'm like, no, I don't actually. When did that happen? And Archie's like, yeah, those drugs, they're in like at the gym. Do you remember him giving him drugs at all? At any point in time?
I think I remember he was like, go hide it, or like go just keep it in your locker or some like dumb shit like that.
Like, why are you holding drugs for someone?
Exactly.
So stupid.
Like,
so as they're like going to like hide the drugs, of course the police come in and they stop them, and then like they both go to jail, but mostly Archie like gets like thing. And but that's the thing, nothing happens in that storyline at all. He doesn't go to jail for possession. He just like gets out and like he like fights Elio later. Like, it doesn't. Anyway, okay. I'm just trying to like get through this without like getting fucking angry about everything. So it cuts back to the Jones household, and Glados tells the truth. She's like, I'm the drug dealer, and FP gets like so fucking pissed. He's like, there's gonna be a reckoning after this game. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, this is all your fault. And he gets mad at Jughead, as we expected it was gonna happen anyway. I was like, this is what happens when you lie to your dad. He lied to you, and now you're pissed, and now he's pissed off. I'm like, we basically call this from time. He's gonna get pissed off anyways. Like, there was no point for him to have kept that secret
to wait
from
this
his
long.
dad.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, it all kind of blows up at the same time anyway. Glados does take the fall for it, but at the same time, like, FP's fucking pissed. Then it cuts to Josie, and she's talking to her dad, and she's like, or she's calling him. She's like, so I heard you have a show like nearby. Do you want to like get dinner before your show at like Pops or something? Then it cuts to Betty and Tony, and Tony's like, oh, by the way, your mom's getting married, and he's also gonna like, Edgar's gonna adopt Juniper and Dagwood after they get married. I didn't understand why he needs to adopt any children.
Like, why is he adopting the kids?
Like, where the fuck is
he marrying
Polly? Did Polly
like, if he's
die?
marrying Polly, yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't
it
get
doesn't
why.
make any sense.
Like, why would that even be a story?
Because they needed her to steal the babies. That's why.
Right, but like, it just doesn't connect. It doesn't connect.
None
to me,
of this
I'm just like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Where the fuck is Polly? I was like, if Polly died, I would get it, but this bitch is still back in the show. Anyway, moving on to the next scene, guys.
JLAG's like, it's okay. I believe it.
I'm just
it
like,
makes
let's
sense.
just keep going. But listen to me, guys. Right now, when we talk about the show and we go in hard on it, listen to us talking right now, and listen to the story plots that they set up for an episode, and don't make me think that I'm crazy in realizing that these storylines all are fucking ridiculous.
I've been on Twitter all night. And a lot of our like original followers and people that we follow are saying the exact same thing. They're like, what the fuck happened to this show? Like, this season has been off the rocker.
Painful.
Like,
it's
officially off the rocker. I personally know like a lot of my friends have stopped watching it. They're like, I don't know how you guys still do it. I'm like, well, we have a podcast, so it has to keep going.
There's people root for us.
And there's been some good episodes, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And like, we were the biggest fans. Like, season 1, I legit still watch season 1, guys. Like, the other night, I legit watched season 1 all over again. Like, I love season 1.
Yeah.
It was so good. It's what I wanted for this show. I don't know how we got to this point in season 3. Where we're still playing this dumbass board game. Yeah. Jellybean's in danger.
But she's not.
Glados
at the same
and FP
time.
are like, yeah, like, she's not though. Alice is now getting married to this guy. Like, it's just, if you say this, you're like, what show are you watching?
Yeah.
And why?
It's like I'm watching like an episode of Passions, the fucking soap opera. Like I don't understand what I'm doing right now.
Totally.
Okay, moving on to Veronica, Mad Dog, and Archie at Pops, and on TV, Elio's basically blaming him again, and Veronica's like, "Don't worry, boy, I'm gonna get you out of this." I'm like, "Oh, suddenly you're a lawyer? Like you're gonna be able to get him out of this situation?" But no, she just took like one class in marketing and PR, and she's gonna like try to spin the story for him. I was like, "Wow, girl! Like suddenly you're like a marketing genius." So they go and do a drug test. And it turns out that it's negative. So then she does like a press release with, like as I'm talking, guys.
I can't.
So they do the drug test. It's negative. She does a press release, and like the newspapers are there. Alice is randomly there in the corner with her reporters, and
like here's the thing. Can I just say really quickly, like if this was all for a school sport, it would honestly change everything to me. I would be like, oh no, I totally get it. Like they're a part of a school boxing team or a school wrestling team. They can't be on drugs. They're getting tested. Like it would all link. It would link the world for me, and I think it would connect much more. But the fact that this is a side business, he owns a boxing club now. He's boxing and he's like not in school anymore. Like it just feels so out of place.
And what was the like drug test gonna like prove? The fact that they're not on drugs. But then like right away, Elio turned around and was like, "Yeah, but you could have given him the drugs. Like it was like it was your fault." So then the like sister comes up to Archie and slaps him, and I was like, "Why are we back at this whole situation where Archie's now like the demon of the town and everybody hates him?"
Like I'm pretty sure Randy did that fight on his own.
Yeah.
And he knew how old he was, and he was taking risks with that old ass heart. So I don't know why he's like the family's cheese at him. It's just such a waste.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Every storyline that we're talking about right now has the easiest resolve of all time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to waste 25 minutes watching Archie like try to get money and feel bad about it and almost go to jail, because then at the end of the day the sister was like, "It's all good. He was crazy anyway."
Like, it's okay. Yeah.
I'm like, what the
he was crazy.
I don't. Okay, so we'll get to that too. Like it just.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna keep ranting by the end of this episode.
This is gonna be bad, guys.
Then it cuts back to the school, and everyone's lining up for their measles shot randomly, and Evelyn is like, don't need to do it because my dad like told me that I wasn't allowed to do it because like we don't do vaccines because we're like Scientologists or whatever. Yeah. And Betty's like, she's like, you can look at my file, and Betty's like, I will look at your file, and I'm like, how did it take you this long to look into Evelyn's school file?
Yeah, I was going to say that, JLAG. I was going to say that, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go with this one. Like,
you're going to go with this part of the story?
I'm going to go with this one. It's okay.
This was the most believable part that didn't make any sense to me. And like suddenly I'm like, why is Betty waiting this long to
I had to
give
it to her. I was just like, I don't know. Maybe she didn't think that far ahead.
No, it's because the writers couldn't write her in early enough. Like this storyline could have been fucking done from time. G. So then it cuts to the Jones household and they're playing this game. And first of all, I was like, is it daytime or nighttime? Are they stuck in like some like dungeon that they can't
first
like
of
see
all,
the
can
day,
I just
light
say,
of day?
If this was my family and probably yours too, JLAG, my dad would not be sitting on a motherfucking couch playing a motherfucking board game. My dad would have burnt that shit in a second. He would have been like, bitch, go and find our daughter right now. He would have like called the cops, the real cops, not FP in his fake ass uniform. Like it's so ridiculous to me that two parents are sitting and playing this ridiculous board game with their child, finding their other child. Like it's so
I
stupid.
don't get it.
And then they're looking at Kurtz to tell them the next thing. They're like, we should ask Kurtz. Where's Kurtz? Is he gonna know?
Like on top of that, he's like, now you have to steal from Pop's Diner. This guy's the fucking sheriff of the town. Okay,
he's like he's like, go and like rob them. They're like, okay, I guess we gotta go rob them. Like, what? You should not be a parent. You should not be a sheriff. You should not be here.
Like everything doesn't make sense. I feel like I'm in a bad dream.
Guys, literally. After watching Sabrina's episode, the episode 4, I was like, is this someone's like premonition? Like, is this someone reading a tarot card to someone? Because this shit does not make sense.
I don't get it. Oh, anyway, so they have to steal from Pops. Obviously, that's going to happen later on in the episode. And then it cuts to Archie visiting Veronica. And he's like, oh, man, I feel so responsible. He like runs in the rain and he's all wet and shit. And she's like, don't worry. We're going to put on a benefits concert at the Bon Nuit to help the family. I'm like, cool, guys. This is, again, like another thing that we don't need in this episode, but sure. Then it cuts to Betty, and she's calling she's pretending to be a secretary, and she's getting more details on Evelyn. And it turns out that Evelyn has been pretending to be a junior for the past like 10 years in different schools.
In
and
like
just
different
recruiting.
schools, yeah.
So first of all, damn, like Miss Weiss is getting more airtime than Kevin at this point. Like Miss Weiss has been pulled into like almost every single like plot line with Betty. And so she's talking to Miss Weiss and she's like, yo, like this is what's happening. And Mrs. Weiss like, don't worry, I'm going to find out some more details. I'm like, oh my God, she's like the new Jughead. Like she's like learning all the details.
And like I believed her when she said it. I was like, oh shit, like girl's going to get the facts. Like I really believed her. She sounded very confident.
Like, so like MVP, okay, cool. Miss Weiss.
Yeah, seriously.
For real. So then it cuts to Pop's diner and they're outside. Like the Jones family's outside. They're about to rob Pop's. And on the inside, Josie's with her dad. And she was like, yo, like, I know that you've been on tour, but I really want to talk about going on tour with you because I fucking hate school. And like, it made her sound as if she hates Riverdale. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that I didn't like about this part of the episode.
And like
I know
didn't
that
even entice her.
Yeah.
You're right. Like it was all on her part being like, this town, eye roll. Meanwhile, like if he said like, girl, I need your help. Like you're my daughter. You're so talented. Like I need you on my tour. Like he didn't even say that.
Nothing. Yeah. It was all
she
her
was just
being
like, I want to come with you. Like,
I'm like, okay, I guess, guys. But like your mom's still here. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
And like you just got a new family. Like you and Kevin are like siblings. Like your parents got married. Like we saw none of that. None.
If she went in on that kind of shit, she was like, Kevin's being weird.
Yes.
And this is being like there's so many things that she could complain about. But based on what I've seen in Josie's life, she's got a new man. She's like, you know, she's like trying her life at like this fucking Bon Nuit. She's like a
solo artist, no longer a group artist anymore.
What's the problem here? You got to like literally up and leave your entire future in a high school and like go and follow your dreams just because you're getting on Katie Keene. Like get out of here. Like I just didn't like the way they wrote her out in this particular regard.
It was so anyway, so she's talking to her dad, right?
Talking to her dad.
Like, she's like, oh God, this town. And I almost feel like it was like a metaphor for like the episode where she was like, I need to get out of this fucking show because this is crazy. I want to go to Katie Keene.
Yeah, I want to go to Katie Keene too. Can you take me with you?
Yeah.
So like, can you imagine if we just like leave Riverdale and we're just like, guys, we're gonna stop the Riverdale episodes now.
It's getting
and we're gonna wait till
me.
Katie Keene comes back.
It's getting close to that.
Oh God, girl. So then the Jones family like bumps in and they're like, they basically like ransack the whole place. They get the money from the register, and as they're leaving, and I was glad this happened because Pop's like turned around and he's like pop pop pop, and he like shoots at like them, and FP goes down because he gets shot. And I'm like, good thing that he has a fucking gun after getting robbed by the Black Hood. I was like, if he didn't have a gun back there to like protect himself, I would have been like, bro, you should know by now.
Oh my God, he took out his shotgun like a boss.
He's like,
you crazy bitches again. He's like, I'm over this town. Like poor Pops. Like honestly,
like Pops is gonna leave
he's
too.
Over this shit.
He's gonna go to Katie Keene.
He's like, can I get a sequel up in here? Can I get a franchise business so I can move out of this fucking town?
So then it cuts to Betty talking to Hal, and she's like, don't worry, Dad, like I got you out, you're moving. And he's like, nice, but you're sad, what's going on with you? And she was like, well, Juniper and Dagwood are being like adopted and it's fucked up. And Hal's like, no, that's fucked up, you can't do that, like you have to talk to somebody. So he sends her to Penelope, and Penelope's like, don't worry, I'll take care of this. She fucking goes to the damn Sisters of Quiet Mercy, but she only takes one of the children. She takes Juniper. Yeah. And then she was like, I could only take the boy, Jason Jr. And I'm like, okay, something's up here.
Okay, creepy
something's
auntie.
Fucked up. It's creepy auntie. Some shit's fucked up right now. I know something's going down. My theories are below, like in a couple minutes, because I'm done with this episode. So then it cuts to Archie and Elio talking. once again, a waste scene where
Waste.
like waste scene because Elio's like,
I feel like the actor for Elio got paid for nothing. Like they paid him for nothing. His role was so stupid.
he's always like giving Archie money and like Archie's always like no, but then Archie's like I need that money, but no. Like I've seen this
He's
happen
like, hard to
already.
get. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
literally. So Elio's like, here's your money, and then Archie's like, take your blood money and shove it up your ass. And then Elio's like, come to Las Vegas, you can be like the Riverdale Reaper. And then Archie's like, fuck you. So he like gets him to leave. And
Meanwhile,
he
I'm
doesn't
like
take.
secretly wishing like he did go to Vegas.
Yeah, and also I'm like, take the damn money. This is the second time he's denying money for winning a game. Like, bro, get out of here. Like, you don't know. You're not a good business account manager. Like, where is Veronica to take that money for you?
Yeah, he's not because he doesn't go to school. He needs to take more
exactly.
classes.
Go
How
take the
about that?
SATs again. Like, fucking stop punching mirrors and like go to take the SATs. So then it cuts to Jughead and Glados talking because now like FP's out of commission and they're like, we're fucked. What are we gonna do? And she's like, we gotta like move him to somewhere else. And Jughead's like, you fucking fucked up everything, you fucking stupid mom. And he's pissed off, obviously. And then it cuts back to Veronica, Josie, and Archie. And this is also another waste scene, even though I liked it.
I
because,
did like it. I did like it.
they were all in the same place. But why did you have Archie running to Veronica's place if she was going to tell them about the benefit anyway? You know what I mean? Like at the same time. Because she was like, you know what would be a great idea if we turned your concert into a benefit. As like, and Archie's like, true, great idea. I'm like, it's almost like they shot two scenes and then they put them both into the same episode to fill time. You know?
Yeah, it's very
like,
possible.
It definitely felt like that. And guys, I'm shading this show right now so hard. And if anybody's listening right now from the CW, I'm sorry, but like you guys need to get your shit together. I'm not gonna lie.
And I'm honestly, we're saying it because we have heard a lot of our like fans and listeners. They are saying the same thing. Like that the show has really just gone to this really weird and really weak writing. It's just the writing is whack as fuck.
It's just like this definitely felt like a piecemeal storyline, and they're like, okay, it's like they like tried to shove jigsaw puzzles into a thing, and they're like, okay, perfect picture, but it's like not a perfect picture. There's so many things that they could have done better.
So what was really cute about this scene, and this is really all I give a shit about, is
like
Archie's
this is all I care about.
Yeah, Archie's like, okay, he's like, I gotta go now, and then he like kisses Josie on the lips. Yeah. In front of Veronica, and she's like, and it cuts to Veronica's reaction, and she kind of gives a weird look. She's like, huh? Yeah. And then he like walks away, and that was it. But I was like, can we have more of this?
But
like, can we have more of this drama? No,
we can't.
Because Jughead's gotta fucking find his sister still.
And there's like a fucking like murder going on with Archie, so we gotta deal with that. So then it cuts back to the bunker, and Glados has to go on trial with the Cyclops. That's like her next like mission. And she's like, I think I know what that means. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Tell me, please. So then it cuts to Josie, and she's about to sing, and her dad obviously doesn't show up once again because he's like a shitty dad. And then as she's singing, she sings Back to Black. What did you think of the performance, girl?
I loved it. No, this was honestly like this almost made up for everything else in the episode. I fucking loved this moment. I think it was like the best song for her to sing. Right. I know she sings like right at the end as well, but this was like, like as a send off for the stage.
Like no shade against.
I loved it.
I don't know. No shade against her, but I didn't love the rendition. Maybe I'm just totally stuck on that Amy version, but I just wasn't feeling it as much. But they do this very often, this whole thing where she's singing over top like 7 different storylines at the same time. So
that's the thing. It doesn't let you, they don't let you sink into that moment. No. Because there's so many other things happening. And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like they should have just done Josie right and let her have like majority of an episode. That way you really get into that performance. You really see like her bowing down at the end, like almost made me cry. Because I was like, it's like she's saying goodbye to us. But you know, in the grand scheme of the episode, you just don't take it in because there's so much shit happening.
Too many people, too many plot lines in one. Yeah. It's just too much. So while she's singing, Archie like confronts Elio in the parking lot, and he's like, give me that money back. And now Elio's like, no, you can't have the money. And I was like, stop playing this like hard to get bullshit. Are you guys gonna fuck or not? Like, what's going on here? So he takes the money anyway, and Elio's like, like, whatever. He takes it. And then it cuts back to the bunker, not the bunker, but it's like the old headquarters for the gargoyles, which is turned now into the serpent area. And this is like the Cyclops battle. And it turns out that Penny Peabody, of course, is fucking alive, as we expected.
Yep, shocker.
She's alive. Shocker, no shocker. And everyone's like, okay, like, what's going on? And like Gladys doesn't even explain herself. She doesn't say like, oh yeah, true, like I definitely didn't kill her. I just pulled her eye out. Like, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, nothing happens. And I'm like,
So
why
dumb.
are you keeping Penelope like Penny Peabody alive at this point? She's just gonna be a villain. Like, she does so many shitty things. She's never gonna be like a reformed person. So what's the point of keeping her around other than keep her as a villain? Like, they don't even send her to jail. Like, anyway, so they have this like fucking Ninja Turtles Kill Bill fucking battle where like they're using these like these swords.
I love this moment. I did like it.
I'm surprised you liked it because I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
I know. I did like how it was like Josie singing and then like this kind of Kill Bill style fighting.
Yeah.
And I have to say, guys, like I'm really trying to like it, and that's why I think I'm trying to find these little pockets of scenes that I really enjoy.
I'm surprised
really
that this is one of the ones that you like, though.
What else was I gonna like? There's nothing else. There is literally nothing else.
Anyway, they're kicking each other's ass.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I think the actress that plays Gladys is like a boss ass bitch, and I freaking love her. Yeah. And I'm sad that like this is probably the last time we're gonna see her for like maybe like the season. But yeah, I think I didn't mind this. I didn't mind this scene.
So anyway, it was the most action we got to see, and it was a cool girl fight, I guess. But and it was badass how she like beats her and then she like stabs her in the leg anyway. I was like, that's pretty boss ass bitch. So she wins, but she gets like really hurt. She gets like stabbed at one point, and then she gets like kicked in the kidneys or something. So she's out of commission now, and now like Kurtz is like going with Jughead to like some next situation. So then it cuts to Miss Weiss talking to Betty, and she reveals like the biggest gag of the episode in my opinion. Evelyn is Edgar Evernever's wife.
Crazy. You know what's really crazy? What? I was going to say this last week in our podcast. Yeah. I was going to say, I'm like, there's something off about them as father and daughter. And I couldn't remember if I did say something like that. Like, I was actually going to go back and listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking, they do not look like father and daughter. There's something weird with their dynamic. Like, when they're physically together, like, he doesn't seem like her father.
Right.
But I don't think I actually said that they could actually be together or like they could be something. But like, I honestly, when she said it, I was like, I fucking knew it. Like, I knew that was going to be the gag of the season.
So first of all,
just like,
it's like she's 26 years old, which is still relatively young to be dating fucking Chad Michael Murray. Like,
yeah,
what
he's
the fuck
probably
is
like
going on?
36, maybe like 35. He looks like he could be 35, 36.
That's a bit of a reach.
Yeah, it's like 10 years.
I just feel like it's weird. If she's been doing it since she was 16 years old, then that's some fucked up shit. He was
probably like 19, 20. Well, don't forget, he probably convinced her too, right? Like the same way he's controlling everyone else and he's like kind of charming everyone else. He probably did the same thing to her. You know?
I don't know, man. This is fucking crazy. We'll talk about it a little bit later.
Maybe it's like his daughter / his wife. Ew.
What the hell? No, that's not even possible.
Gross.
Oh,
yeah,
wait,
it is
possible, but that's so fucked up.
Ew.
So then it cuts to Tony and Betty talking, and she wants to get into the farm, and I'm like, okay, here we go. So back to Jughead and Kurtz, and he's like, take me to Jellybean right now. Like, both my parents are basically fucked up, and it's all your fault. And Kurtz is like, okay, you have to wear this bag over your head, but like, I'll drive you. So they go, and then it cuts back to Josie and her dad, and her dad's like, this was a test. Congratulations. You are going to LA. And she gets the golden ticket and she is leaving. So that's basically all that happens. Like, he's like, I'm really proud of you. I think you did a really good job. And Josie's like, oh my God, I'm going to go on tour. I'm going to be amazing. And this is how her story ends. Like, I'm sad.
Let's talk about it at the end, because she has one more like final scene with Archie.
And I was like, what about fucking school, man? Anyway, so then it cuts to Archie and the sister, and he brings her the money. And this is the point, what I'm trying to say is like, this whole storyline was completely meaningless because he brings the money to the sister, and the sister's like, you know what? Randy was pretty fucked up. Like, he had his drug problems from the get-go, from like the jump. And, you know, like, I'm kind of not surprised that he died. I'm like,
you didn't have to slap him. I feel like sometimes these scenes are put in for the trailer so that like it looks sick on the trailer.
100%. Are you serious? That's the only reason why we saw a slap at the end of it all. But yeah, so like you made him feel bad the entire episode. He fucking pulled money together, and you still like you were like, yeah, my brother was a loser anyway. I'm like, okay. I'm just gonna sit in my corner and try to take back the 30 minutes of my life that I can't get back. So then it cuts back to Tony and Betty, and they're sleuthing, and I'm like, sick sleuth moments with Tony. I'm always into it. And she goes into the room to steal Dagwood, and I'm like, okay, this can't be like this fucking easy. Like they can't just be like walking right in and like everything's fine. And then sure enough, like as soon as she like goes down the hallway, she sees someone, and then they move into some next room, and then it's like a surprise party for Betty. And so they're like, surprise, we're all here. And Tony has converted.
I literally thought for a second they were going to be like, it's your birthday. Like, happy birthday.
Or it's like,
because it just was like, such an awkward pause. It was so
yeah.
long of like everyone saying like, just join. I'm like, this is weird. What did you think about Tony? Like, were you like shocked?
I was shocked, but at the same time, I was like, of course they're gonna go this way with this damn storyline. Like, god damn it! I didn't
think they were. Like, I don't know. I just felt like she was flip flopping so much. Like, is she a narc? Like, is she gonna be like a sneaky like thing? And then she ended up converting, and then I was like, that's it, really, Tony?
Wow.
Like, come on,
fucking Tony, you loser. But yeah, I thought the door was gonna open. It was gonna be all the Riverdale writers, and they're gonna be like, this is a joke, but it wasn't. So yeah, everyone's waiting, and it turns out like Betty's like, let me just drop some tea on you, like Evelyn is his wife, not his like daughter. And Alice is like, that's fine, we're sister wives. I'm like, ugh. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
And then they're like, it's all about you, Betty, it's all about you. Join us. And I'm like, first of all, like, why is this all about Betty? I need to know. Yeah,
why is it about her?
We'll talk about it later. But so she's running away from the farm, and they're like, get him. Like Edgar's like, get her. And so they're all, literally the entire congregation is running. You're telling me that Kevin, who was on the wrestling team, could not catch up to this girl? Like, okay, fine. So she gets into her car. They're all like all over the car. They're like looking at her, and they're trying to get her out of the car, and she drives away. And I was like, what the actual fuck is happening right now? This is so intense, and I don't know why. And also, we find out that Polly is alive because she was like in the room with her.
Yeah, she was there the whole time.
I'm like, so she's not off the playbill. She's not like, what's the reason for this fucking adoption? I don't get it. Unless, like you said, it's like a sister wives for every female in the cult. Like all of them are gonna marry Edgar, which is like even weirder. So then it's the final challenge with Kurtz, and they're in the junkyard, and he has to choose, like Jughead has to choose between two doors, and one of them is like gonna seal his fate, and one of them is gonna save his sister. So he opens them both, and they're both empty, and then he's like, get in, or like your sister dies. And then he gets in.
Like, who planned all these obstacles? I want them to go back in time, and I want them to show like, when did they set up these fucking like game obstacles? Because this shit is crazy.
Honestly, well, like, the Gargoyle King
let's go
did.
To the. Okay, really? Does he have that much time on his hands?
He does,
he's
clearly.
Gonna go and set this shit up?
He's like, I'm gonna put this right here.
So creative, bro.
So he calls the sister, and then he was like, you can die now, like you can kill her, to Ricky. And as he puts him into, like, as Jughead goes into the cooler, and then he gets locked in, but he gets locked in for like not even 5 seconds, because then he gets out right away. And I was like, okay, why are we going on this wild goose chase? I don't understand.
That's what
why.
I'm saying.
Like everything was like this big apex of a situation, and it like got fixed in like 5 seconds.
Nothing, and it was basically nothing because she was fine.
Yeah. So then the Gargoyle King is there, and he's like literally lurking. As soon as like Jughead gets out of the fridge, Kurtz is dead, like he kills himself, and then the Gargoyle King is like looming, but then Jughead has literally no time. He like has to run all the way back home to like find out if Jellybean's alive. And I'm like, the Gargoyle King's right there. You can just like knock him down and like try to get him. Like he's right there, but he doesn't. So he gets all the way home, And of course, Jellybean's still alive. She's like, hey, boy, like, I was just playing with my friend Ricky. And then Jughead says something like another turn of the screw, which this saying means like basically like it's doing all this extra stuff for no reason, basically just like aggravate you.
Right.
Which is what I feel like this show is doing to me and NB right now.
The entire season 3 has basically been that. So yeah.
It's been a turn of the screw, guys. So then it cuts to Archie and Josie, and I'll let you take this one because this is your moment. Go for it.
Yeah. So apparently she was singing a song. I don't remember the title of the song, but she was apparently singing a song that she sang in the first few episodes of like the series.
Oh.
So I guess it kind of all brings it home and
it all like
comes
she like finally finishes the song. Yeah.
She finally finishes the song minus the 2 pussycats that were supposed to be with her. And then he comes and he's like, I'm so. Like, honestly, guys, their fucking chemistry is so beautiful. Like, he grabs the chair. He, like, rushes over to her. He's like, oh, my God. He's like, I missed the show. I'm so sorry. Like, it was, like, your last performance, basically. Yeah. He's like, I missed it. And it's just, like, you can see this eagerness on his face. Like, he just feels so... He looks and feels really excited and really genuine when he's in a scene with Ashley Murray. Yeah. And she was like, yeah. She's like, it's okay. Like, whatever. She's like, you know, I got to tell you something. She's like... So I'm basically going on tour, and Archie's like, "Oh, cool! Like that's amazing. Like for summer you're going on tour." She's like, "No, like now I'm leaving. Like I'm leaving tonight." And he's like, "Wait, what?" he's like basically all of us. He's like, "Wait, like don't you have school? Like how are you just gonna dip?
How are you gonna yeah?" And
then
he's
like, how are you just gonna leave?
And then he's like, well, are you going to come back, though? And she's like, maybe. It all depends if Katie King gets picked up.
My heart broke the way he said that. He was like, well, are you coming back later?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was like, yeah, it depends. Like, if the show picks up, like, maybe we'll get a first season and a second season. And then, like, I might not be back. But, like, who knows? Maybe I'll
If the pilot doesn't make it, then, yeah, we're going to come back.
And, like, she says the cutest thing. She's like, I really enjoyed my time with you. But, like, you and me both know, like, we're not endgame. Yeah. And I was like, wow, why aren't you endgame? You're so cute together. And then they kind of just like kiss and like then it's over. He kisses her forehead and like it was so
what did you think about this like final moment all things considered?
I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I wish she wasn't leaving. Like it was really, really hard to watch. I didn't want to see her go. I think she had one of the strongest storylines of the season. And I'm not just saying it because of Archie. I felt like Archie complemented her whole character arc. Like as an artist, like as a singer, I felt like she felt like in her own, like she was like making music and like it all made sense and it worked. And then plus she had this boyfriend and like she loved Archie and whatever, like liked Archie, whatever. I felt like it all made sense and it worked. And it was beautiful. And I just hated to see that it kind of ends like this. But I get that that's kind of how it's going to end. I don't know.
It's just, it sucked.
I'm sad. I'm sad. Because that was my favorite thing of season 3. Hands down, for sure.
But it's done now. So then it cuts to Glados in the hospital. And it looks like Jughead finally makes amends with Glados at the very end of it all. He's like... Jellybean should stay. Like she can't be on the run all the time. And then he's like, so you should stay too. And Glados is like, honestly, like your dad might fucking kill me if I come back home.
Like so now her guilt kicks in. Like now her guilt kicks in.
Now your guilt kicks in.
Now like when all this shit's gone, like now she's like, I don't think I should stay. Like I'm not meant to be a mom. So goodbye. I'm like, wow. Okay, so you spent the entire fucking season wasting my time, and now you're like, okay, I gotta go.
And she's like, we can try again later when I get renewed for another contract.
And so, like FP gets fired. So yeah.
So then it cuts to Elio talking to Hiram at the steam room. This is my favorite moment of the episode. And not going to lie.
Jesus Christ.
So first of all, it's shirtless boys. Why wouldn't I be down for that?
And sweaty. Like Mark Consuelos, I just don't know.
Like I just don't understand why his body is like that at that age.
Yeah, like Kelly Ripa. Normal. Like if I die, I want to come back as Kelly Ripa. Like, oh Jesus. Like damn. Like that's your husband?
Yeah, that's your husband.
Like taken, it's him like at like 45, 48 now?
Yeah.
Like what was he like when he was like 25?
Like, fuck.
Holy shit.
Like Marisol Nichols / like Hermione, you're missing out.
Can we take a moment of silence for Hiram launch? We're both like daydreaming.
Anyway, okay, moving on to the
okay, let's get back. Sorry.
So the big reveal of this part of the episode is exactly what we've been like we clued in and we talked about it earlier on.
Yeah.
The reveal is Hiram was awake when Archie came into the room and pointed the gun in his face.
Yes.
So like when he was
Hiram
in the hospital.
knows that Archie was about to kill him, basically.
Exactly. And it looks like Hiram has been playing like Archie with giving him the gym this entire time. He expected him to fall into this.
But what did he think was gonna happen though? Like, why did he give him a boxing gym?
I guess he wants him to like get into like the underground boxing lifestyle. I don't I don't know. I don't know, girl.
Why don't you have the
answer?
Don't
ask me. Ask the writer.
I don't know.
Sense to me. I'm just looking at Hiram's abs. Like, I don't care. So, no, I think the one thing that we'll have to, like, we take back from this moment is the fact that Hiram still doesn't trust Archie 100%. He's still playing Archie.
But, like, playing him for what gain? Like, that's what, I just don't understand it anymore. Like, I don't get the evilness. I just, to keep him away from Veronica? Because that's not working. Like, she's like, more turned on by him now.
He's literally putting them together.
So,
and
I don't know.
Like, does he want to like fight with his daughter? Like, is he trying to like maybe he's trying to like use Archie to like get Veronica to go into the dark side? Like, I don't know, but I'm sure that'll be the entire arc for season 4. Like, I guess, I don't know. So that's what that happens. And then it cuts to Veronica and Archie and Mad Dog at the gym. And Veronica's like, you should get back in the ring. You should like fight. Like, the longer you stay out of it, like, you're going to hate it and even more. And Archie's like, no, I don't want to box anymore. Like, I fucking almost killed somebody. And she's like, you aren't the Riverdale Reaper. You're like Riverdale's Red Hope. Can you like do it for me? And he's like, okay. He's like, sure, fine.
Can you do it for my vagina, please? I miss ya.
Because now you're single, and I'm gonna have sex with you next time.
And Mad Dog's face was like, I gotta get out of here.
Like, should I leave? Like,
he's like, my contract is done now.
Like, we're done. Yeah, so I guess all the VARCHIE shippers should be excited. I'm sure they're gonna get back together by the end of the season.
I'm ready for VARCHIE.
Ooh, stir the pot.
Ooh, some fighting words.
So then it cuts to Glados saying bye to the Jones family.
Bye.
And this was a sad moment. It was sad to see her go.
Yeah, it was
for
so
sure.
sad.
I think that like
so sad.
To your point, like she's a good actress, and she grew on me by the end of the season, like her being this sassy woman. And it just sucks that like she has to leave. Realistically, I don't know why she had to leave. Like, everybody in the house, when she was saying bye to everyone, I'm like, what's the difference? Like, FP does, like, if FP was like, I don't even want to fucking look at you right now.
Out. Yeah.
Like, even if
she should have been like, I'm gonna go stay in a hotel and then like we'll work through it.
Yeah.
No, like she's like, goodbye, my people, my family. Like, I'm leaving
she's
forever.
Like, we'll see if they bring me back as a season regular. Like, I'll come back later.
That's basically what happened.
That's exactly what happens. Which
they can't afford to have like both parents, you know?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But that being said, everybody else's parents are like half dead. So like, why not just have the Jones family together? So speaking of dead parents, it cuts to Veronica and Betty. And you thought I was talking about. I thought you.
Yeah. I'm like, holy shit, JLAG, that's so savage.
No, I was talking about Veronica and Betty, the final part of the episode.
Yeah.
Betty's like, or Veronica's like, I've been trying to call you this whole time. And I'm like, yeah, Betty, where's your fucking phone? You're like a 20-year-old girl. You'd think that she'd be having her phone on her at all times. She's like, I tried calling you all afternoon. And she gets there and Betty's like, what's poppin'? And Veronica's like, so there was an accident when they were transferring your dad and like a bunch of inmates. And Betty's like, so he's escaped. Like, she's like, for fuck's sake, like, are you serious? And then she was like, no, there were no survivors. And I was like, bullshit.
If I don't see it on screen, they not dead.
Yeah, I take all of my advice from NB's like golden rule. If you don't see the death on screen, it didn't happen, okay?
Yeah, it didn't happen. And even if you do see the death on screen, if their head isn't chopped off, they could still be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if there's a bullet in their brain, then maybe they're dead too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Do you think he's dead? Let's talk about it right now.
No, I don't think he's dead. He probably got away, or like Hiram Lodge, like broke him out for sure. Like he's
so I agree. I definitely don't think he's dead. I think that it was trying to gag us for like 5 seconds, but then it wasn't, because I didn't think that he died. I do think once again that like Penelope taking the only son was really shady. So like maybe they're still planning to run away with each other. Like I feel like that's the storyline that I'm like looking at right now. Penelope dipping with the baby, and
just hearing you say these words though, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's an episode
like,
of
even
Passions.
if that's a storyline, even if that is a storyline, why do I care about Polly's random baby and Hal and freaking Penelope? Like, why do I even give a shit about them? Like, I don't.
True.
Like, let them have a baby. Let them be happy.
Yeah, let them go be happy.
Good for them.
Lives. Yeah,
exactly.
You're like, good for the
them.
murderer. Kidnapping a child. It's all good.
Yeah.
We're all good here.
I mean, let's be real. Polly didn't even want her babies anyway, so like whatever. Like
she literally
like,
let her go like that easily. I was like, damn, like that's pretty tight.
Exactly.
So I guess that's what's gonna happen in the episode. Like, to your point, I don't know why they're letting the Black Hood like be out and about again. Like, what is this gonna be? Like, what's season 4 gonna look like?
It's gonna be season 4 bullshit.
No, what is it gonna look like? I have no idea. Like, anyway? So that's the episode, guys. Let us know what you guys thought about it, because I don't even know where to begin.
So we have a question I want to ask you, and this is a really good question. It's from Michelle M on Twitter. She said, why did Betty remember the floating babies when she looked at Edgar? So Alice is just chill with being a sister wife, and Polly is okay with losing a child. Why does Kevin still not have a storyline? Why did the writers ruin my faves with insane plots and out of character behavior? You know what, Michelle? I wish I could answer your questions, but unfortunately I'm not the writer of this fucking TV show. Kind of wish I was sometimes. Okay,
let's break down her questions. Yeah. But just so you know, she's not a plant. We didn't ask her to say these things.
No, I swear to God, I just saw the tweet right now.
Asking these questions.
The first question, and I did actually want to ask this to you too. Why did Betty remember the floating babies when she looked at Edgar?
So that's what triggers her to run away. But I'm not even joking. I'm not even lying. And I know we've been joking about it this entire, like, the last half of the season, but, like, I seriously thought that she was going to imagine that, and then it was going to jump back to episode 1, and we were like, oh my God, nothing ever happened.
Yes, that would have been amazing.
That's what set off her fucking epileptic seizure, right?
Yes, yeah.
So, God, if that is what happens, and she has, like, a full fucking flashback, and then she's back at episode 1, guys, I'm down.
I think it just sort of cut to that flashback or whatever, and like I think she just realizes like how fucked the farm is. Like she's like, no, they're up to something for sure. Like, I can't be here right now, and so she dips. That's what I took from it. I
think like if it isn't a full out dream, it's just her reminding herself that even though like her best friend is there and like her mom is there and her sisters are there, like this is still a shady situation, and she has to stick to her guns and get the fuck out of there.
Exactly.
Which she does.
And then the next question kind of makes sense too with that, because it says, so Alice is just chill with being a sister wife and Polly is okay with losing a child. I honestly feel like they're trying to make Alice and Polly so unlikable and like so dumb that I feel like you're gonna want Hal to come in and step in and like save his family, because I've already started to feel that way. I'm like, maybe they need Hal back. Like maybe they need Hal to like bring them back from like this crazy farm bullshit.
Which I don't,
because they're just so ridiculous right now.
It'll be so fucked up if that's the situation, that it takes a serial killer dad to bring everybody back to normalcy. But like, that's the thing. I don't know what the resolve is for the Cooper family. Like, what do you see as the solution in this situation? Like, Alice can't just go and say like, sorry, I was fucking crazy at the farm. Like, and, like how is this going to be fixed?
There's some characters with redeeming qualities. Like if you want to like compare like, you know, Breaking Bad and what's the main character from that show where like he was like making drugs to like pay for his like cancer, Walter White, cancer treatments, pay for his family. Like it all makes sense in the sense of like he's doing something really shitty, but like for the better of his family.
The motivation
but, like,
is there, yeah.
Hal was a fucking serial killer. Like there's nothing redeeming about that storyline, that origin. So if they're trying to fix that now and say no, but he's gonna come back and save his family, I'm not buying it, because you're too far gone. Like it's too much.
Yeah,
you've killed people. Like you killed Midge. Like you killed innocent young kids. it just doesn't make sense. Like
him having like a precious moment with Betty in the jail is not gonna like make me like you again. Like you fucking kill people. Like come on.
Yeah.
So that's that question. The next question is, why does Kevin still not have a storyline? Girl, asking the wrong person. We've been complaining about it since season 2. Like,
you know, and I have to say, guys, some of you guys really do complain to us that we complain a lot, and I get that, but there's also a big chunk of you that completely agree with everything that we say.
Yeah.
And it means a lot, because I feel like we are saying our true selves. Like we're not out here trying to be fake and be like, oh my God, we loved it. Like we're really giving you our real frustrations and our real like opinions. So to hear you guys say the same things, like this Kevin thing, we've been asking from the beginning, like beginning of season 2 probably. Like why doesn't he have a proper storyline, you know?
Yeah.
So to see like our fans saying the same thing, I'm like, okay, like we are on the right path. We're not crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
These characters deserve
like
so much more. And I think we're coming from that place of like, we love this show so much that we want to see the best for these characters. They deserve the best storylines.
Absolutely.
Like that's why we care so much. So
yeah. I wouldn't try so hard. Like I'm Tyra Banks yelling at that model. I'm like, we are rooting for you. We are all rooting for you. How could you? We wanted you to be better than this. Yeah, there's a lot of people. We have another like someone on Twitter saying, am I wrong to say that this episode felt like a filler tonight? Like I didn't enjoy any of it all. Like, come on.
Yeah, it was Nico. And then he like added, he's like, looking forward to the podcast because I was bored out of my mind with the entire episode. I'm sure the podcast will be more entertaining. And it is true. I hope it is entertaining.
Yeah.
I hope we don't annoy you guys. But we are speaking the truth and like we have to call it for what it is.
It's our truth, y'all.
Shitty episode.
All right. That being said, let's get into our
thank God
recap roundups.
Best moment. All right, let me just say real quick, JLAG, my best moment was the Amy Winehouse rendition with that Kill Bill sort of mommy fighting like montage. I liked it.
I'm not saying it was the worst episode, part of the episode, but I'm just saying that like it was kind of random. I was like, what's happening right now? Yeah, okay, I'll take it. My best moment is going to Elio and Hiram in the stream room. So I guess we all can't
You're
win.
Take that. You're definitely gonna take that in your hands.
I'm gonna take that one and I'm gonna play it one more time before I go to bed.
WTF moment.
What was your WTF moment?
My WTF moment was Archie kissing Josie in front of Veronica. Like all fucking season, I wanted him to make her jealous. And then it happens like in the last episode that this girl's gonna be in. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, you could do that from before and make Veronica jealous?
I feel no ways. She's like, I feel no ways.
She gave a look for sure. She was like, huh? But like it wasn't like a crazy.
But now it's too late. There's no tension.
And that's
necessary.
What I mean. Now it's too late. Because she's gonna get the dick next week because Josie's gone. So like whatever.
Exactly. My WTF moment is going to the reveal that Evelyn is the wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, this is crazy. Like, she's a child, but also, like, this is some fucking crazy shit. Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening? I definitely was very gagged. Yeah. I know that, like, you maybe thought that there was a theory, but it came out of left center for me.
I thought like, there could be something. Yeah.
MVP. Who's your MVP?
My MVP, I think I'm gonna give to Josie. Like, Josie effing McCoy. She came through the season with that storyline that I loved, and I don't know, I'm really sad to see her go. Like
bye Josie.
I was sad. Yeah.
We're gonna miss you. My MVP of the episode is Betty for finding out about Evelyn, but also like why did it take her so long to find out? So like she's also my LVP.
No, can I say quickly here that the MVPs, I did want to include Fred Andrews because they did preface this episode with like this is like Perry's final episode, and I was ready to put him down as my MVP. I really want to talk about him like maybe for the last time, but like guys, where was his scene? There was like barely anything. He had like one scene with Archie in the beginning, and then at the end like I didn't see anything. I didn't see Archie talking to his dad, and I was just like, oh shit, like I guess that's it. Like
that's it.
I wasn't like what's gonna happen with Fred Andrews?
I mean, I guess and it brings back that whole question because I know that it was airing, like everybody was talking about it, like Roberto was talking about this being his last episode as well, And it's hard to remember that that's the end of it. And I'm just like, what are they gonna do now? Like, are they gonna recast? Are they gonna?
I feel like they're gonna recast him.
I don't know.
They're gonna recast him.
LVP.
My LVP is gonna go to everyone in the fucking farm. I think all of them are so lame. I hate them all. Like Tony especially. Like, what was wrong with you? Like, you were so cool for a minute. I thought you were like actually gonna help your girlfriend and Betty, and like then you converted. Like, I don't know. I don't. And like for her to, I wish.
And like that's the thing. And for her to snake her like that, like for her to like snake Betty like that and be like, I'm gonna like pull you in and like secretly get you here. Like, you're even shadier than fucking Cheryl. At least Cheryl owned up to her shit and she was like, exactly. I'm in the farm now. Like fucking Tony like snuck her in there and was like, I'm betraying you. I was like, bitch.
And I just think as characters, what does it say about these characters that we are supposed to love and like back up? What does it say when they like, they shade their friend and then they join this weird cult? Like,
exactly.
I don't like Cheryl right now. I don't like Tony right now, but I want to love them so much. But I feel like they're so weak for falling for this shit, you know?
And that's the thing. Like, how are we gonna get back to like where we were in the beginning? Like, of
how do they
make
up for it? Yeah.
How do we fall in love with these characters again when we know they've royally fucked up? Like, we can't like. Of course, I'm waiting for Cheryl to be like, I was in love with his dick. Like, you know, like I'm waiting for that moment because I know what's gonna happen because I know that's the good excuse that they're gonna give her.
But it has to be more than that.
But it has to be more than that. Absolutely. Like, they have
you
to
wasted
make
a whole
up.
season on this shit.
They basically all have to like apologize to Betty.
I get Alice's. I get Alice's completely because her effing husband was a serial killer last season. Like, I get that. But it's like seeing everyone else. I'm like, guys, really? Like Principal Weatherby? Like honestly, like, yeah.
Like, and Tony, what about your fucking Pretty Poison? She's like, I never got to be a part of a community. And now you're like literally ditching your fucking people. Like, the fuck's happening right now? It's so, and like, you literally made fun of your like girlfriend for like seeing her dead brother. And now you like fully join the, I don't know, whatever. I can't talk about it. I'm going to get so angry. It's so late at night. Like, I just want to sleep. Like,
okay, who's your LVP?
My LVP is Elio for being like a little bitch this whole season. I don't like his character. I think that he's like a slime bag. Like, he really is so slimy. Bitch. I can't believe like at one point I thought that him and Veronica were gonna be a thing.
Oh my god, me too.
And like now,
that would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, but like no, not anymore.
Yeah, no, they're not going to give that to us either. They're going to give us a boxing scandal. Cool. Cool. The best line.
What was your best line?
My best line, I think, is going to go to Josie when she's like, Archie, I've loved our time together, but we're not endgame.
True.
I was like, aw, it's so true. Like, it was just like such a good summary of like what their journey has been this season. I personally couldn't see them as endgame, but I know everyone's gonna kill me for saying that, but whatever. I don't care.
Also, I hate the word endgame, so it's up to it.
Yeah, and I feel like they're making fun of themselves, so like whatever.
Yeah. My best line is going to Edgar saying, "It's about you, Betty," and I want to take this moment to ask the question: why is it all about Betty?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's just the line. Honestly, JLAG, I feel like we look into all these things because we want everything to make sense and like have a purpose. But I feel like when they wrote this shit, they don't think of that. They just say it for the sake of like closing off the episode and having this big climactic like ending with Betty's reaction. Like, I don't get it. Like, why is it about her?
Like, is Alice hoping that Betty's gonna come into the farm and become like another wife of Edgar, and like she's gonna share a husband with her daughters? She's
gonna share that dick.
I don't get it.
I don't know, Jayla.
This show got weird.
I'm done, guys. So I'm done with this episode.
Good night. All right.
Good night. And we also have a roundup from @Postmaster Radio, and he says, best moment, Josie's musical number. WTF moment was Evelyn's secret, that's for sure. Yeah. MVP goes to Josie and Fred, although we could have seen more of Fred, I feel like. LVP is going to go to Tony, definitely. Best line, Tony telling Betty, it takes a village to mercy kidnap a child. Whatever the hell that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Even especially since it didn't even like come to that.
Yeah. That's it.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let us know what you guys thought about this episode. Give us all of the tea. Show all of the receipts, how you felt about this episode. Give us your discussion points if there's anything that we missed, and maybe we'll talk about it next episode. I'm going to take this time to thank our patrons of the episode, which is my favorite part of this podcast so far. Thank you to our Lit Rewinders, Tina Ann, Sarge, Serena, and Kate, and our Mommy Rewinders, Becca, Sarah, Tama, and Taya.
If you would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind. If you join, you'll get access to all things Recap Rewind, exclusive content, and updates.
And also make sure you guys are checking us out on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. And you can also find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iTunes. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing, following, reviewing to stay engaged with us at Recap Rewind. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Just wait before you stop it. I want to just read Aris's roundups because he had sent it to us. I forgot to read it.